Svetlana, the firefly in the room.
Hello plant friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Svetlana, I am from Firefly in the room, and today we will talk about hanging plants. I'll be honest, this haul won't be one of those fancy hauls where you will see, all these fine plants that are doing awesome or healthy or expensive and all of the stuff. Nope. Today this haul will be more basic, more common plants, but the ones that I really appreciate, the ones that I really love, because to be honest, I have a very limited space for hanging plants, so I work with what I have, and especially all the spaces that I have for hanging plants are pretty much dark. So today I will share the plants that are pretty okay to be in a low light situation and that are pretty okay to grow downwards, if that's the word. If the lighting is a little bit off in this video, I'm really sorry, but today is such a rainy day. It's so gloomy and so dark. Yesterday was sunny and fine, so whenever I decide to film a video, something weird happens, so sorry about that. And without further ado, let's just jump into plants. I mean, talking about plants. Okay, let's do it. This haul will be filled with plants not only that I purchased, that I bought, but also the plants I rescued. And some plants are from the plant swap that I attended last summer, so get ready for some stories behind these plants. And let's maybe start from here. So here is my enormous spider plant. I mean, it's big. It's really big and it has babies, and I mean, it's a big mama that needs to be repotted, but I just did not have time to it, but I will soon, I hope, because it needs help. Okay, so this spider plant, actually I won't hold it, I will just talk about it. So this spider plant is a rescue, and I found it next to a garbage container, and it was not that long ago, about a month ago. So if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen it, that means you're really new to my channel. So if you wanted to check this video out, I will leave a link over here. But this beautiful spider plant was thrown away and it was all fine and good, no bugs, no ants, no root rot. I mean, it's a pretty fine, beautiful plant. I mean, I think somebody threw it out because it had not enough space. Probably somebody had not enough space, or they just got bored of such a big plant and they just thought, time to go. I don't know, I am never this kind of person. I am always for big plants. I mean, the bigger the better for me. Even though I live in a 2-room apartment, sometimes it gets a little bit tricky, but I love big plants. So this one is one of my favorites, and it looks amazing in my wardrobe in that area over there. So if you haven't seen my plant tour, I mean, you should check it out. I'll leave a link over here, and it's pretty, it's pretty basic, but you can see where my plants are standing. So anyway, this is plant number 1. Then we have plant number 2 from this side, and this is beautiful. Oh, okay, this is really long. That's what she said. Anyway, this is a Satin pothos I had from a plant swap. It came to me from England or Ireland. I think England. Anyway, so this is a beautiful Satin pothos, and you can tell by the small leaves at the end that I really need to propagate it because it's growing as crazy. It always stands in this spot and it's actually loving its life. So very soon I will propagate it and work on this small growth, and I probably need to do a macrame plant hanger for it and hang on my ceiling or on my curtains, because it needs some space. Because these lower parts are already on the floor, so it is reaching for the light, and I'll try to work this thing out. But all in all, this plant looks good for me. I mean, this is one of my favorite plants. I'll be honest, I am not a big hanging plants lover, because as I said, I don't have enough space for them, so I always just walk past them, because all of the spots are already taken in my apartment for these hanging plants. But this one, I mean, I just love the pattern on the leaves, and it just have a special place in my heart because it's from my friend Iced, and I just love her and I love this plant. This is actually one of my favorite plants from her plant swap so far, so I love it. By the way, shout out to my boyfriend who yesterday bought me this awesome t-shirt. Thank you, Agnes. Anyway, then we have a beautiful... Okay, you don't need to see that. Then we have a beautiful Epipremnum pinnatum, and I have a lot of trouble with this plant. First of all, I bought it myself and it was my pride and joy. As I said, I'm not a big fan of hanging plants, but this one just feels magical for me because for some reason this elongated leaves reminds me of elf ears. So for some reason it looks for me like from fairy tale. And it's a beautiful plant, don't get me wrong, but it got trips. And they got trips from my balcony garden, from my tomatoes and my paprikas. So it was really sad to find this thing out, and I'm working on cleaning it and on treating it. So it's still under construction. I'm working on its health, but for now I can see that they are pretty much gone. So it went through a lot of stuff. It was in my bathroom without windows for days when I was treating it, so it's not in the best shape. But guys, even because of all of these struggles, I mean, there is smaller leaves, but they're still coming, and they just keep on coming, guys. This plant was in no light situation for at least 2 weeks. And look at that, the leaves are pretty small, but they're coming. And actually some of the leaves are already with some fenestrations, like that one. This is another plant that I really love. If you ever will look for the video best plants for beginners, for not green thumbs, for dark thumbs, black thumbs, I mean for the people who are not great with plants, right? Most of these videos will have pothos, but guys, I don't know who says that these plants are easy, because all the plants that are easy in those videos, I kill all of them, and pretty easily. It's not a big deal for me. I mean, if you'll give me a spider plant or a pothos, I will kill it. But, I have 3 pothos that survived me. 2 of them are actually from the same plant, and this is pothos njoy, but I mean, look at the condition of this plant. They're not in the best conditions. They're having some yellowing and some browning. I mean, the biggest problem with hanging plants that they are most of the time not in the reach of my eyes, so sometimes I forget to water them. Whoop. I'll be honest. So this is actually what happened with this pothos. So it was almost dying, so I had to cut off some of the branches and propagated it, and actually it bounced back. So now that I look at it, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. I for some reason imagined that it will look terrible in the camera, but all in all I think it looks pretty nice. So okay. But this plant actually grows really weird. It doesn't grow, you know, straightforward like this Satin pothos, right, that I just showed, but it grows in circles, like you know that people have, for example, like me, wavy hair or straight hair, and some have curly hair. So this is a curly dude. I don't know why, but all of the branches just grow like that. And don't say that it's because of the sunlight, because I was turning this plant last year in all directions and it still was growing like that. But I love the pattern on the leaves, guys. Look at these patterns. It's a beautiful plant. So, okay, I started to talk about these plants like I did not like them, but now that I look at it, okay, I like them. It's not that difficult to impress me, you know? So, there we have it. And then I have another pothos. This one is... Ooh, okay. Oh, this stands actually in my kitchen, and this is a golden pothos. Again, you know? This is not my favorite plant, and you can tell by the condition of it that it's not living the best life, the best happy life, but it's I mean, I'm going there. I'm trying to give it as best life as possible. Just recently I repotted it. It's just this kind of plant that it's not the one that you will show to the world and tell, this is my pride and joy, but this is just one of the plants that you will put somewhere to have a little bit of greenery, you know? It doesn't matter what, doesn't matter how, just something green there, you know? This is the one. No offense, I like you. Let's talk a little bit more positive, because this is, I'm looking at it right now, this is a plant from a plant swap, and last year, actually, I think it's full year since the day I got it, and it was a small cuttings, small string of hearts cuttings that I got for free. One lady actually came with like this bunch of cuttings, and she just started to give it to people, you know, one by one, just one for you, 6 for you, 7 for you, you know, for free, for no other plants for herself. So this was amazing. I mean, wow. And I got, I think, 4 branches maybe, or 6 branches maybe, and all of them I put in water to propagate, and then in the middle of winter, I think, I potted them up. And when I potted them up, they wasn't living the best life because it was winter and I just repotted them. But then the spring came and it just started to grow like crazy. I mean, there's lots of growing and actually it's blooming. So this is really, really sweet because all of the branches have blooms on them. I mean, look at that. And this is such a beautiful plant. Actually, my boyfriend is not, wait, you don't see there. Actually, my boyfriend isn't a big fan of plants, but this one he loves as well because I mean, it looks so romantic, it's, you know, so fragile, and it's not that awesome string of hearts as, for example, crazy plant guys, I know. But soon I will propagate it after it will stop blooming, and we'll try to make it a little bit more bushier. And the biggest thing that I'm afraid of is winter, because these guys need a lot of sunlight, and, well, since Varpo sent me a grow light, we'll see what will happen, right? But all in all, I love this plant. I love it. It's so romantic. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure that we have some Hoya heads in this channel, right? Because not that long ago I was Hoya head myself and I was buying Hoyas as crazy. Spoiler alert, I just ordered one Hoya, so this weekend I will go and buy it from the shop. I mean, I ordered it online and will go and take it from the shop. And maybe film a tour, I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, these are my hanging Hoyas. So first one is my first Hoya ever, and this is Hoya carnosas. I think most of the people start from Hoya carnosas. Well, not Kailelen, right? But most of us start from Hoya carnosas, and this was the first plant ever I got, and it was a small tiny branch with two leaves, guys, 2 leaves, and look at that. And it actually, I got it this winter, so half year ago, and actually it was twice bigger, twice. But then in winter time I rotted this. I mean, I overwatered it and it decided to rot on me. So I rescued it. Actually, there was 2 branches like this one, so one did not make it, but another one did, and I'm really glad that I did, because it's my first ever Hoya, and it's happy right now growing in the balcony and growing new leaves. And here is another Hoya carnosa that I got from a plant swap. It was simple cutting of 2 leaves, and finally it's growing a new one. Finally, it took a year for it to do something, so I'm really excited. This is actually, I am trying to make it trailing Hoya, not hanging, but you know, there are no rules in this video, I make rules, so this is hanging Hoya. I mean, it might be if I would take this stick out, but for now, I love the way it looks like that. Here, right? Cute! And since we're still talking about Hoyas, let's talk about my Hoya pubicalyx. So this is my Hoya pubicalyx, and I don't know if you remember the time I got it, but it was like that size, and it just keeps growing. I mean, look at those plants. A lot of new leaves, those leaves. A lot of new leaves are on the way, even in here, in this weird trail. But this is such an easy Hoya, and actually right now it looks a little bit rough because once again I forgot to water it. So some of the leaves are showing that, Sveta, we need water. What are you doing? So I just watered it yesterday, so some of the leaves are already bouncing back, but some of them still needs a little bit of time, so that's okay. It will bounce back, but this is such a beautiful plant and it's so easy to grow. Actually, this is the easiest Hoya ever in the world. I mean, it was all winter in shelf that doesn't get a lot of sunlight, and it just stood there. It didn't grow any leaves, but it did not die. It just stood there. And then the spring came and look at that, so many new leaves. It's very beautiful Hoya. I love it. My favorite Hoya. And for the end of the video, since we have so many different plants and varieties, let's end this video with colors, right? So here is my weird and quirky looking purple heart plant. So this is one of the weirdest plants in my collection, not because of the variety, but because of the way it grows. It actually was growing on my closet back there next to that wall, so back there, you know, far away from the window all winter long, and it grew like crazy, guys, because when I got it, my mom actually got it from her office. It was about that size, and now look at that, and it grew during the winter with no problems at all. It looks quirky, but I mean, I love it. I love weird plants. And it looks awesome on the shelf. It's like, you know, different purple snakes. Pretty cool, in my opinion. And guys, I think this is it. That's all of my hanging plants. I mean, I have some other hanging plants that I'm trying to trail, so they are not that hanging anymore. They're more trailing plants, for example, like this. Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Ooh. I mean, beautiful, right? I adore her. So anyway, this is about it for today's video, guys. These are all of my hanging plants. Just like I said, nothing too much special, but still pretty cute, right? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other videos you would like to see in this channel, and till the next time, bye guys.